and she spoke English only. And she says, Berkowitz? I said, yeah. It turns out they made a mistake. They thought I'm a woman because on my thing it says Shloma Berkowitz. Now, why they thought Shloma was a girl's name, I don't know. Anyway, so the lady, she was looking for a woman. So that's how I wound up in the nursing home. And I was doing cleaning windows, the floors, things like that.
When did you change your name, Mr. Berry?
Okay, to try and make it short, I left the nursing home and I came to New York, and I had to do it on my own. When I say my own, because the owner would not agree I should come to New York. If I come to New York, they told me I'll be on my own, that I can survive there, whatever. So I came to New York on my own, and I had this friend that from Italy, we were together and we worked together. And he had some family in New York, and he came to New York, and we were corresponding because we came on the same ship. We were together. We were corresponding, and I told him the situation. I says, I can't stay here. I'm sick to my stomach. I said, besides, that's not for me. I don't think to start a new life. That's the way I would like to have it. So he said, why don't you come to New York? We'll take out an apartment, and we'll get a job. Because I said, now I got paid in the nursing home. I got paid $1 a day, and room and board, of course. And I was there 3 months. So when I came to New York, when I left there to come to New York, I don't know what I did. I spent $7 there in those 3 months. Anyway, I came with $83. I thought I'm doing good. I thought, hey, I got $80. And I bought a ticket on the train, and I just came to New York with my friend. And then I went looking for a job. And he had an aunt, or he had family, and they told him the best thing to do to go looking for a job is in downtown Manhattan. They have those agencies. There is like 1 million of them, one on top of the other. So I go there, I dress up nicely, I go and put my name down. I see what everybody else is doing, and I'm waiting a half a day, waiting a day. Nothing. So the next day, I come home and I tell my friend, I says, I don't know what happened. I says, put my name down. He says, you got to go. The aunt tells him, you got to go, and you got to keep checking him. You got to ask him. But I wasn't, I was still, I'm in a new country, So anyway, I'm going the second day. Now I'm going asking. After a few hours, I see they take in anything that came in, bums, everything. Everybody, they give a job. They don't give me a job. So the third day, I'm trying a different place again. The same thing happens. So finally I go over again, and now I'm getting a little bit more thing. And the guy happens to be Jewish. And he says to me, I'll tell you the truth. Because he asked me, what kind of job you want? I said, I don't care, what? Washing the floor, washing the dish. I get a start someplace. I don't have a trade, anything. He says, I'll tell you something. You're not going to get a job. I said, why not? He said, with a name like Shlomo Berkowitz, they know right away you're Jewish. And if they give you a job washing floors or washing dishes, they know you're not going to stand too long over there. You're going to look for something better. And he says, that's why they don't want to bother to break you in, especially if there's still a language barrier and you're going to start breaking you in. They're not looking for that. So that's when I come, and I came home to my friend, and I told him the story. And he said, okay, tomorrow we're going to go and we're going to change our names. So he changed his name, and I changed my name. It's just like as simple as that. And he, what name do I pick? I don't know. Took up the telephone book. Okay, something that starts with a B. I wanted to keep the B. The B at the beginning. I said, Barry, that's short. That's it.
How did you meet your wife, Mr. Barry?
I met my wife in Italy, in Santa Maria de Bagna. She was a child yet. Her brother married later on then. Her brother married one of my cousins. The one cousin that wasn't with us in that group over there in Bari.
And where was your wife born?
In Austria, Vienna,
Where were you married?
New York,
What was your
on Rivington Street, Feigenbaum's mansion, right above the gin mill.
What was the date of your wedding?
Don't do that to me. July 14th,
What year?
19, let me see, my son is 1951.
How many children do you have?
2,
Can you tell me their names?
Kenneth and Adeline.
And how many grandchildren do you have?
4,
And their names?
David, Lisa, Joseph, and Ryan.
And your daughter-in-law and son-in-law's name?
My daughter-in-law is Sharon, my son-in-law is Gerard. We named him, we gave him a Jewish name, Abraham.
Gave who a Jewish name?
My son-in-law, who is not Jewish, obviously. So when my grandson was born, my daughter's son, you know, the first one. So we went for the bris. We made a bris, and so the moil said you gotta have the boy's father's gotta have a Jewish name. So he said that's the usual custom to Abraham.
What do you dream your life would have been like if it hadn't been for the war?
I really thought about it, oddly enough. I don't know what profession I would have wound up with, but I just wanted to, I never was looking to be a rich man or anything like that. I just was looking for something to be content and self-supporting and not be hungry or needy. So I wasn't thinking of becoming a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. I probably would have wound up in the government, working for the government. I don't know why, but I'm almost sure that's what I would have done.
And what has been your primary occupation?
Well, when I went over here, then I wound up in the sheet metal line, and I became a sheet metal mechanic. And eventually, I had my own shop with a partner, a sheet metal shop, and I learned the trade, which I did. As a matter of fact, I think I was a darn good one too. But anyway, it took a lot of hard work. But I'm content. I'm very happy. I never in a million years would have dreamt that I'm going to survive that long, especially with even though my health usually has been pretty good, except of my back problems. But somehow the trouble, the emotional, and even though you try and hide it as much as possible, I thought it's going to have some effect on our lives. And I know, I think I know I managed better than my wife. She's very, she still never got rid of it. Once in a while, I get the feeling, so to speak, where you know. But I don't have any regrets. As it turned out beautiful for me. I adopted this country. As a matter of fact, I tell all our friends around here, they know me already by now. I think I'm a better American than they are. And not to belittle them or anything like that, for the simple reason that they just don't know any better. They don't know what they have. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately, most Americans don't.
What do you think about the way you've lived your life as
The
a
way-
person? What do you think about the way you've lived your life as the person you are?
I'm very happy with, I don't know, this might sound thing. I'm happy with myself because what I did, the way I achieved, and in the beginning, my main thing was to be self-sustaining and to be able to support myself, and it turned out that I was able eventually to help a lot of other people, a lot of other family, because when I had the shop, I always went out of my way to help the people if somebody needed help when they were working for me. So I'm really thinking I'm happy with my children because my children are almost a copy of myself. So, and,
What's important to you?
to be happy, satisfied, more or less, when I say satisfied, content, so to speak. And do you things that you believe in and stick with it. There's always hope, and there's no better proof than I am for myself.
How do you think the experiences that you went through during the war affected you as a person?
It, oddly enough, it didn't affect me. In other words, I did not become a hating person or things like that, but I am more aware of, how shall I say, people that lip service, they will say, oh, and I have quite a, we made a lot of friends here, and when I worked too, you know, we made a lot of non-Jewish friends. I went out of my way to have Jewish friends, non-Jewish friends, and the same thing for my children. I never told me you can only go with things. I went out of my way. Oh, well, he's Jewish, but he's a hell of a nice guy, or he's a good guy, or things like that. And even when they don't say it, sometimes they'll just slip a slip of a tongue, a slip of expression, or whatever, but it's there. And the one thing I can't help is sometimes I think, if God forbid something would happen in this country, bad, something bad, and how many of these people that would come out and really help, especially if they stand something to gain by whatever it is. If, in other words, if they would take us and drag us out of this house, and all of a sudden this house is left empty the way it is, how many people would object to it? I don't know. That's the only thing that I became more, I don't know how I would have been before, but that's my main thing also for the people there, that it's so hard to understand and to explain that you have some people you trusted, they were your friends, and those were the most harm they did for you. Then you had people that you didn't know, they didn't know you, they know they're not going to get anything back, and they put their life on the line to help. So there is hope. That's why I say there is hope.
How was your faith in God affected by the war?
That's a very, very tricky question. There were times when I had no faith at all, and then there were times when I came back to faith. And I think in the very beginning, when I came to the States, I really didn't have much faith. But as we settled in, we settled in and became a family, I kind of turned back again, and I'm back to to my faith. I'm not a mystic, or I'm not a crazy guy, Hasidic type of thing, But I do believe in certain things, and I do believe that all this that happened, it just didn't happen for nothing. I hope it didn't.
How important is your Judaism?
It is. See, now, that's why sometimes I say I feel so bad, as you change your name. Say, well, why don't you change your name back again? That's a very. But I go out of my way now, wherever I go, that to let them know that I'm Jewish. Even though, because the reason I do that is because maybe I feel guilty, because the name is a very well, So I make sure they know that I'm Jewish.
What are your thoughts about the state of Israel?
Oh man, I sure hope. That's the only thing I can say. I hope. There is so much dissension. That's what bothers me the most. The most that bothers me is the dissension there among the Israelis themselves. Specifically the Hasidic movement. And the reason, because I'm a little bit more familiar than most people. Growing up, and even though I was never there, but growing up, and I think I'm a little bit more familiar, that I do know that those people, they really believe of what they're doing. Now, I'm not saying they're right or wrong or anything like that, and that's the bad part, because they really believe, and they're very strong in their faith and their beliefs. Otherwise, you couldn't survive, especially the Hasidic thing, I can see over here, in the Lakewood, where the Hasidic population, which is quite big, and a lot of people say they're a lot of chutzpah, they're this, they're that. They have to. They have to be, and they're proud, and they don't want to be ashamed. They not want to hide it. They, in order to live their life the way they want to, they have to do what they're doing. And a lot of people don't understand that.
How important is the family unit to you?
Very, very important. I don't, for the simple, maybe, I don't know why, I keep saying, I keep thinking that maybe because I grew up without a family, so to speak. I never knew what it means, father, mother, or things like that. I go, both of us, my wife and I, we go out of our way. We keep stressing for our kids to get together as often as possible. And I don't mean only my children, but I'm talking about cousins and things like that. I always stress that, and they go. Sometimes it's a little hard. That's why we go out of our way. We have a Passover, and there has to be something when they can come. And my daughter-in-law, I used to do it all. I used to have Passover, Thanksgiving, whatever. But now I'm spreading it out a little bit with my daughter. And the same thing, we get a family for every occasion, every possible occasion the family can get together, we get them together. Of course, it's hard because one is up there, one is up here. They're all busy, everybody's working, trying to make a living. It's still easy for me now because I'm not working, but I know how it is. But it's very important, and I keep stressing that to them, that they should stay together as long as possible, as often as possible.
What message would you like to leave for the future in regard to hatred and bigotry and prejudice?
To my children?
To the world.
To the world? Oh, man. I don't think I'm that big a person to leave a message to the world. Who would listen anyway? No, I don't know to the world. That's so big and so vast. I'm just trying to give my children to work hard be a good person. You can look at night in the mirror and be proud of yourself. You don't have to be rich. It helps, but you don't have to be rich to be a good, content person. And I'm proud of that.
Mr. Barry, can you tell me who are the people in this picture, starting with the little boy?
The little boy is me. I'm trying to figure out what age, 7, 8. The middle is my grandmother who raised me,
Her name?
Ethel Rochel Berkowitz. And the lady on the right side is my cousin who lived next door to where I grew up.
Her
Her
name?
name is Feiger Shlomovich.
And how did you happen to have this picture?
I have no idea how I got it. I don't know.
And this picture on the left?
I'll start with the right, if you don't mind. The right is my cousin Hannah. She also lived next door to where I was raised. She was a tremendous help to me. And the girl on the left is her friend Maria. They were dressed up for some sort of a Romanian holiday.
Hannah's last name?
Hannah Shlomovich.
And her friend?
I don't know the Maria's second name.
Thank you. And this picture, Mr. Barry, when was this picture taken?
This was taken in 1942.
Where?
This is the street in Slatina. That's the street, my street, where I grew up on.
And starting on the left?
On the left is me. Our friend in the middle is Benny Itzkovich. And the guy on the right is my other very close friend, Shlomo Yankovich.
And how did you happen to have this picture?
Well, we were, obviously somebody took it and he gave it to me. When I kept it, because
How did you have...
how
did
I
you-
kept them,
Yes.
that's a good question and I don't have the answer.
And this picture?
This picture also 1942, that's me in front of the synagogue.
Which synagogue is this?
It didn't have, that was the main synagogue way back, and in 1942 the trouble started already, and they started to break windows and doors. At that time, of course, we didn't know who did it, supposedly. So we boarded up they boarded up the front door, they cemented it up, and they only used side entrances.
In what city was this? in?
Slatina.
And who took this picture?
I don't know.
How did you happen to have it?
Probably the same guy who took the other picture, because it was on the same year. I would imagine there were not too many people with cameras anyway.
And how did you happen to have this
The
picture?
same way like the other ones, I don't know.
Thank you. And this picture, Mr. Barry?
This picture was taken in early 1946. It's in Prague.
Starting on the left.
Starting at the left is Herman Katz, and I'm in the middle, and on the right is Benny Stein.
Who's Benny Stein?
He was a friend. We befriended up there in the Czech Republic when we were then at that time of the year.
And again, when was this picture taken?
1946, beginning of 1946.
Thank you. And this picture?
This picture was taken in 1947 or 46, the end of 46, beginning of 47, in Santa Maria de Bagne. We were very proud that time. They helped us to get a menorah in front of that building there, and all of us took pictures of the menorah.
And who is standing there?
That's me. This, okay.
And this picture?
This picture is also in Santa Maria de Bagna, 1947.
Starting on the left-hand side.
Starting on the left side is Carl Ciabotaru. He is my cousin's husband. Go next to him is Feige Berkowitz. Next to her is Putyu Berkowitz. And these are the twins. They were in the under Mengele.
Their names?
Next is
Their names? The twins' names?
Berkowitz.
First name.
Feige and Putyu Berkowitz.
Next.
Next is Gizzy Berkowitz,
And then?
my cousin. And then next to her is Roshi Berkowitz. And that's me, Shlomo Berkowitz.
And what do the Hebrew letters signify?
Lishono Tovo Tekosevu.
Thank you. And this picture?
This picture was in 1948 in Barletta, Italy. It's me, Shlomo Berkowitz.
Thank you. And this picture?
1948, Barletta, and that's me, Shlomo Berkowitz.
What was the occasion? that
I've
this
taken a big bike ride. I earned enough money to rent it.
Thank you.